welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see from the title, this video is going to be my TikTok recommendation video. If you didn't know, if you don't follow me on like Instagram, which if you're not following me on Instagram, go do that. The link is in my description box. But no, seriously, if you didn't know, I like to read. I love reading. I can read a book. Well, okay, in high school I could read a book in like a day. I could still do that depending on how good the book is, but my max is like 3 days. If I really like a book, I can read it within 3 days. I really love reading. I started reading like really young. When I was younger, I used to like, I think Junie B. Jones, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. There was this other one. It was like Captain Wonderpants or something like that. Like that was the stuff that I was into when I was younger. Definitely in like elementary school. Middle school, I don't remember myself reading as much because, middle school is like, that's not cool. Like, why are you reading? Like, so in middle school, I didn't read as much. In middle school, I was having more fun. So, like, in middle school, I was actually, like, hanging out with, like, friends and, like, going out to, like, the skating rink, what else? Movie theaters, the mall. So, I was actually, like, doing stuff in middle school. So, I really didn't, like, stop and read a book. But in high school I kind of picked back up on reading. So my freshman year of high school I picked back up on reading. I think it was like my writing class, my English class. She had a bunch of books. This teacher, her name was Mrs. Walker, I believe, and she would let me like keep books that like she was letting us read, and she had like a bunch of books and she would just let us keep them. And yeah, so once I was in like high school, I had like a little library and I was keeping all the books that she was giving me. I don't know where those books went. I ended up moving. I don't know where they went. But I ended up keeping a lot of books. Like I had like the Divergent series. I had like all the Fault in Our Stars. Like all the popular books back then, I was reading them. You know what I'm trying to say? The Fifth Wave. I don't know if anybody has heard of that book, but I love the Fifth Wave. So that's kind of where it started. I just really love books. And one of my, like, I really want like a whole library at some point. Not like a library, but like a mini library in my like house. But I really do love reading. I am more into like romance. I've just now gotten into like mystery, thriller, romantic thriller. And I really like them because they kind of keep you on edge. They kind of start off really good and they they keep it going throughout the whole book, whereas like romance is kind of like, it kind of picks up very slow. But let me just stop rambling. I'm just going to get right into this video, and like I said, I hope you guys like it. These are my recommendations. I don't want to hear nobody in the comments saying like, you really like that book. We all have our own preferences. Preferences. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we all have our own style that we like. Like, a book might be good to me but might not be good to others, but like, I don't know. And I'm not going to do them in order or anything like that. They're just kind of going to be like, they're just going to be whatever I pick up first in my hand, okay? So let's get right into this video. So before we start this video, I do want to state that there's going to be no spoilers in this video. I want everybody to pick up the book and actually read it. And then if you want to, comment below, DM me, your opinion on the book and let me know how you like it. You can do that as well. Like, I like having conversations about book. I like recommending books to people. So definitely no spoilers. I do want to get that out the way very early on. I hate when people spoil a book. Let's not do it. So the very first book that we're going to start off with is this book. It's called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I definitely rate this book. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm gonna rate it a 4.5. I'm trying to give like my honest ratings because I be on Instagram like, oh, this is 5 stars. But then when I read other books that I like more, I'm like, okay, these other books that I read were definitely not like 5 stars. So this book, I will give it a 4.5. I definitely love the book. A lot of people don't like Evelyn Hugo, her personality, but I love her personality. I feel like it's very raw and real. I feel like a lot of people get upset when people are like very truthful about the bad crap that they've done in their life. I feel like people want somebody who's like perfect, basically perfect, who kind of like hides their life, which it is what to each his own. But I love a real raw bitch. Like, she knows, like, I did some effed up crap. And she will say like, basically she'll state in the, like, not in the book, but she'll state like she did some effed up crap. So basically the book is just about, so Monique is basically like a journalist. I write a journalist. Yo, I'm so bad at describing books. Basically she's a journalist. And one day she kind of gets like, not a call, but I guess we'll say a call. She did get a call, but she basically got a call stating that Evelyn Hugo wanted to work with her. She was confused as to why. Basically she wanted to work with her because, you know, she's a small writer, journalist, like she's nothing. Evelyn is basically ready to tell the truth about her life. Everybody, like, basically Evelyn had like 7 husbands, so basically it's just talking about like all her 7 husbands. They touch on like who she loved most and just tell her story of her life, and her story is very, very interesting. I believe Evelyn is like Cuban, but she passes as like a white woman, which is but yeah, so basically she's telling Monique her story, and basically a whole bunch of stuff happens, and then Monique finds out the real reason of why Evelyn is like picked her to write her story. So the book is really, really good. I give it a 4.5. The twist is kind of, because the whole time I'm reading it, I'm like, I know there's a plot twist. So like the whole time you're reading it, like you're like, oh my god, I know there's a plot twist, and you're trying to figure it out because you know there's a plot twist. Like early on you know that there's a plot twist coming. Like basically you're hearing Evelyn's story, but you're trying to figure out like, why did Evelyn pick this girl to write her story for her, like out of all people? And Evelyn's a black woman, so it's like, why? So the plot twist is kind of like a shocker. It's like, damn, like, it's definitely like a damn, like, now you a fucked up, you a effed up B, you a effed up B, okay? So yeah, I definitely give this book 4.5. I know, I get why it's worth the hype. The next book we have is It Ends With Us. I really, really love this book. I give it, I definitely give the book a 4. I believe it's beautifully written. I believe, if I remember it correctly, and that's how I know I don't really, like, it's not like a very super high rating. Like when I first read it, I gave it a super high rating, but then when I start reading other books and I start forgetting about another book, like what happened in a book, that's how I know it just wasn't like my favorite. But this book is definitely good. I definitely would recommend this book. Oh, let me say, Colin Hoover is a really good author. A couple of the books that I have right now are from her. She's really, really good. She's really popular right now. I feel like the book has a really beautiful message. It's just beautifully written. It definitely has a beautiful message. So basically, the main character name is Lily. She ends up meeting this guy named Ryle. And when she's meeting Ryle and she's like going on a date with him, she ends up meeting her, like somebody that she fell in love with like when she was younger, named Atlas. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if I'm saying it right or wrong. So basically she's going through like stuff with Ryle, and then in the back of her mind she still kind of is in love with Atlas. And I can't really say too much without spoiling it, but it is really good. She goes through a lot with Ryle. And basically Atlas has always been like a protector to her. Like he protects her to her, for her. Like he really, really loves her. It's a really good book. It's just hard for me to describe the book without spoiling the book. But it definitely is a 4-star book. It's definitely beautifully written. Definitely has a beautiful lesson. And it's a happy ending. Is it a romance? Yeah, it is definitely a romantic book. This is like a romantic book, but I really do like this book. Okay, so my next book, and this is my favorite. I don't care. I just got done reading this. This is by Colin Hoover as well. Y'all probably know. It's called, how do you say it? Verity? It's Verity. If I'm saying it wrong, I do apologize. But this book is really, really, really good. It's a romantic thriller. How do I describe this book? Like, and I've seen like mixed reviews about it on TikTok. People are like, it's not worth the hype. Like, it's so overrated. No, y'all are just corny. Like, y'all try to be different so bad. I'm sorry. I have to say it. And I have to be the one to say it. People be trying to be, and like I said, I can't really say nothing because everybody has their own preference. Like, what might be good to everybody else is not going to be good to everybody. But I don't know. I'm just like, how you ain't think this book is good? The book definitely has a plot twist. And at the end, you're just thinking like, this is me in the end. I was like this. Is it this or was it that? Is it that or was it this? You know, like, the main character name is Lowen, and she basically is an author. She wrote a couple books, but right now, like, in the time, like, she was in like a financial hardship. So then someone comes to her, Jeremy. He's the husband of the best-selling author, Verity. Is that how you say it? Verity? Whatever, but Verity has been in like a huge accident and she really can't write for herself anymore. So they come to her, basically giving her like, I think $500,000 or something in that nature. I forgot the price. To write the rest of Verity's books for her. And she ends up stumbling upon like this autobiography that nobody was supposed to read. And it just get crazy from there. Like, the stuff in the autobiography is just off the chain. Like, it's off the chain. I don't know if people say that no more, but it is crazy. Like, it's off the chain because it's like, how could somebody be this sick? This sick. Like, it's sick. Like, you'll be reading, you're like, what the like, what? And then it's a plot twist, and it's just crazy. So it's definitely a romantic thriller because, you know, it's a romantic thriller. It's a romantic thriller. She ends up falling for the husband. They end up falling for each other. I can't say that because it's in the back of the book, but it's just it's like thriller because it's like what you read in the autobiography is crazy, and then there's kind of like parts in the book where it's like, what is going on, like what is going on, like, that's all can you say, like, it's like, is she really like that's all you can say, like, what's going on. The book is really, really good. This is definitely one of my favorites. This is like my favorite. Like, I'm sorry to say, like, this is my favorite. I was shocked at the end. I was like, oh no, like, oh no. But it's really, really good, y'all. Like, this, if I don't recommend anything for real, I recommend this book. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like, I love it. That's all I can say. Like, I give that book a 5-star. It's a 5-star chick. That book is a 5-star chick. It is good. Like, I finished that book in a day. That's how I know it's good. I finished that book in a day. I said, oh, wow. If I could read it again, I would. Because it's like, wow, what? Like, when you finish reading that book, you like, what? Like, and now you kind of, then you start questioning yourself. Like, at the end, I even looked up, like, stuff on Twitter. And everybody was like, I don't know who to believe. Like, ain't no way, ain't no way. That's all you can say, like, ain't no way, ain't no way. But yes, and I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this. And y'all let me know. Like, if y'all have actually read the book or anything, I definitely, after you kind of keep reading the book, you kind of really sit there and you think, like, Lowen and Jonathan is a little weird too. Like, after the situation happened and then the plot twist as well, nobody else thought, like, they was a little weird as well, because I definitely was like, they a little weird. Like, I don't know. And Jonathan, after the plot twist, if the plot twist is like the truth, you really sit here and think like, you weird too, because like, the whole book, like, after the plot twist, it really got you kind of thinking like, ooh, like, you know, like, they just got you think like, but I definitely give this book 5 stars. Like, I recommend this book if I don't recommend anything else. Okay, so the next book we have here is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This was like my first, oh no, this wasn't the first mystery. So I give this book a 4.5. I definitely think it was really, really good. Basically it's about, okay, so how do I start this off? So basically a popular girl from school, her name is Andy Bell. She ended up being murdered, they say. But they don't really know if she was murdered because of the fact that nobody ever found her body. But they say that she got murdered by her boyfriend. I think it's Sal. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. So we're just going to call him Sal S. So basically they say that he killed him because he ended up killing himself after he so-called killed her. And basically it's like, I'm saying so-called because they don't know if Andy is really murdered because they haven't found her body. So 5 years later, because that happened 5 years ago, so 5 years later, I guess her name is Pip. She's having like a school project that she started working on over the summer, and it was basically talking about that situation. So she ended up interviewing people and like kind of like investigating the situation. She kind of gets obsessed with it, and she meets she meets Sal's brother, who ends up helping her solve this whole mystery. And basically you just know more about Andy and, you know, her life and just the whole 9 yards. And basically they're just trying to investigate what really happened. Did Sal really murder Andy? And, you know, and so basically while Pip and the brother is like solving these mysteries, somebody is kind of after them, because somebody is realizing like she's getting close to the murder, she's getting close to the investigation. So it's just a whole bunch of plot twist. It's not a whole bunch of plot twists, but it's definitely kind of like you think you know who did it, and then it's kind of like, huh? Like, you know, because of the past, with her present life, her present not circumstances, but her present life, like her friends and her family and stuff like that, it begins to blur, because now she has to question her friends, people that she's known a long time. She's starting to question them, because who really killed Annie if she is dead? So the book is really, really good. When you find out who did it, or if Sal did it, it's really, really good. I feel like it's definitely 4.5 stars. I love a nice mystery. I do feel like the writing wasn't the best. So, okay, instead of giving it a 4.5, I think I'm giving it too high. I would definitely give it a 4. I feel like when I was reading this book, I was thinking about the next couple books that I'm going to show you, because the writing in the other book that I'm about to show you is a little bit more different. I was like, the writing was very like simple. It wasn't very, I'm not going to say it wasn't well written. It definitely was well written, but I definitely feel like it could have been a little bit more like Sinahua, like, yeah, I don't know how to say it, but it definitely could have just been a little different, if that makes sense. Like the writing could have just been a little bit different, but it definitely was a good book. So that's why I had to lower my rating to like a 4, because it was a good book. It's just the writing, I definitely could have been, like, the writing could have just been a little bit different. Like, I feel like the writing was just too easy, if that makes sense. But it's definitely a good book. Okay, so the next 2 books, I'm going to do them at the same time, because they're a series. I haven't got the 3rd one just yet, but is it called a series? I forgot what it's called, but I haven't got the 3rd one just yet. But it's this book. It's called The Inheritance Games, and then this one is called the Hawthorne Legacy. I love this book. It's kind of like how do I describe it? It's like is it a romantic mystery? I would call it a romantic mystery, because they have like, it's like a big mystery. You end up having to like, this is the type of book that I like, because at the same time you're solving like little puzzles. Like throughout the book they have a lot of puzzles. That's basically how it's set up. So basically I really like this book because, what's the main character's name again? So Avery, she was like, her mom died, her dad was like a druggie, and she lived with her older sister. So one day she ends up getting like this letter, or someone came and told her like basically their grandpa is basically has died, and he left a will with her name in it. Mind you, she does not know this old man, and basically he ends up and basically the man who left her the money, name is Tobias. He's a billionaire. So he basically ended up leaving Avery, I'm trying to make sure I'm not giving out a lot of information, so he basically left Avery with his entire fortune. Mind you, she does not know this man. She never met this man before, so she's like, why did this man that I've never met, that I don't know, left me this big fortune? And basically Tobias and his like grandsons and his family, like they're into like puzzles and mysteries and stuff. Like that's what they do every single day. Like their house is built with like mazes, not mazes, but like little what are those things called, like secret hidden doors and stuff. That's are like it's one of those type of houses like where it's like mystery after mystery, like you have to solve certain stuff throughout the house to get into certain rooms, or to hide in certain rooms, like you have to unlock different codes. Like it's one of those type of things. So like is there 3 grandsons? There's 4 grandsons. One doesn't really care that he left him that the grandpa left her that money. There's one who thinks this is still like a game. So Grayson is like one of the older brothers. He basically feels like Avery is a con woman. Like what you did to my grandpa? Like, did you sleep with him? You did something for him to leave you this money, because he don't even know you. And there's the other grandson named Jameson, and he views this whole situation as like another one of his grandpa's little mysteries that he done left in one of his like little games that he done left them to play. So basically they're navigating through that, trying to figure out what really is the reason why he left them this money. Like, is there a way out? Yeah, so basically Avery has to end up playing the game herself because she doesn't have to, but she ends up playing the game herself. And basically she ends up she has to stay in the house for a year. Like, she cannot leave. So she has to stay in the house for a year to collect the money. And basically she ends up falling in love with like both of the brothers in a sense. And well, yeah, and they fall in love with her, and she basically kind of has to choose one too. So that's why I call it like a romantic romantic mystery. Really love this book. This is my first mystery that I started off with, and I fell in love with mystery books ever since I read this one. And then the second one was really good. I think I read it within like 2 days or something like that. These are really good. Like, I give these definitely a 5-star. This really like made me fall in love with mystery. And this is one of the books that when I was reading the other book, the Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I was like, this book is not written as like mystery-ish like this one is. Like, this one is like definitely nicely written, and I really love this book. And so the second book is more so the first book you kind of figure out everything, but then the second book, there's another mystery that their grandpa left for the youngest brother named Xander. He's really smart. So yeah, so basically the grandpa after that game left the younger son, if you guys hear my dog in the back, I do apologize, but basically left the younger brother another game to play after that game. And so basically they're trying to solve that mystery in that game, which is really good. And so that's basically what it is. I don't really know how to explain this one too well. It really is good, and I definitely want the last one. I don't know if it came out yet. I think like you can pre-order it or something, but I definitely am waiting for the last one. It's really good. I just love how like throughout the book, I just love how the books are written, and like how you can kind of like how she basically describes like their love for Avery and just everything. Like, it's so good. The puzzles, you end up solving some of the puzzles because they're kind of a little bit easy to solve, but the puzzles are kind of like how could you think of that? Like, I wouldn't have really thought of that. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's why I really like it, because I feel like the author really did take her time with like writing like certain puzzles and just writing the whole book. Like, it's just beautiful to see how like someone's mind can really like do a mystery book like this, like where it's like a bunch of different codes and a bunch of different, you know, like I love how she basically wrote it. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys love reading like your girl do, definitely remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to post a lot more of these type of videos, whether it be TikTok recommendations, just books I like to read, period. These are books that I just gotten from TikTok, so I'm probably going to do another couple series like that, because I've gotten a lot of book recommendations from TikTok, and there's some that I like, and there's some, well, most of the ones that I've read I've liked. There's only been one that I've seen that I really cannot get into. Like, I've tried to pick it up and I have not finished it. Like, I cannot get into the book. I'm so sorry. So I've heard, and it's called The Book Thief. I don't know if anybody has heard it. I cannot get into the book, so I'm not gonna like, I picked it up multiple times and I still cannot get into it. I think it's just the fact that it's just written between the time frame of like Nazis and stuff, and I'm not really into that type of book life. Like, anything that has to do with like history, I don't really like. And it's not like a history book, but it does have a lot of history factors into it, and it's definitely back in the day like that, so I can't I don't know how to describe it, but I really don't like books like that. I like books that are kind of like dreamy, that I can like escape in. I couldn't escape in that book. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to do more series about books, because that's something that I'm really into. And that's what my YouTube channel is about, like things that I'm really into, and reading is something that I'm really into. So you're definitely going to see more book recommendations. Please, if you guys end up picking up these books, if you guys end up liking these books, please remember to comment and let me know which ones you like the best, or what did you like about the books. You also can DM me on Instagram at imperfection. And you know, we can discuss the book a little bit further. Like, I really love talking about books. I actually love discussing a book. I definitely love reading, and I just really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like it's kind of something different than what people would expect from my channel, but it's something that I've loved doing for a long time. Like, I love reading, and I definitely want to give more like my personality, like especially my real personality, things that I really genuinely like to do. But like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys pick up at least one of these books, if anything, and really get down to reading. Like, it's just beautiful. Like, I just love reading. I love just like reading a book and just going into like my own like world, like, because you know, life can get hard. So reading a book and it's like a whole fantasy, and you don't have to really worry about other things going on in your life while you're reading a book. I love that. Like, I love the escape. Is it escapism? I just love escaping. So like I said, I want to say it again, like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a merry motherfucking Christmas. Okay.